Nampaknya battle for the segment B is about to become very interesting lah, sebab kita tengok Nissan pula hari ni telah melancarkan ataupun buat preview untuk Almera-nya. Jadi Almera ni dah lama dikira sebagai kereta segmen B mampu milik non-national, yang paling mampu milik lah. Tapi kali ni Nissan membawa sedikit perubahan. Saya rasa harga dia masih lagi kompetitif, tetapi mereka telah meningkatkan tahap spesifikasi yang piawai. Ini memang kereta-kereta ni kita tengok yang merah ni ialah VLT teknologi, spek paling tinggi, VLP premium spek pertengahan, dan VL standard. Jadi perbezaan utamanya ialah mereka beberapa ciri keselamatan dan juga kosmetik. Tapi yang pentingnya ciri piawai itu adalah sangat tinggi, adalah agak tinggilah untuk kereta segmen ni. Sebagai contohnya, semua kereta ada auto emergency braking dan forward collision warning. Okay, dan so kereta putih ni ialah the base car, this is the VL. So kita tengok kereta putih ni dia punya main element dia ialah depan tu lampu dia ialah halogen lah. Dia menggunakan lampu halogen dan juga fog lamp pun halogen rasanya. Dan ini dia punya nampak, yang paling nampak visual cue daripada depan ialah itu. Dan yang keduanya rim. Dia menggunakan rim alloy yang biasa, not machine two tone yang ni biasa punya. So kita tengok tayar dia pun kecil sikit, 195 65 15 lah. So that's still the one yang paling nampak sekali perbezaan daripada luar. Tapi yang lain-lain masih dapat sama juga, asal masih lagi ada signal kat side mirror. Dan kalau kita tengok, kereta ini juga datang dengan intelligent auto braking dan forward collision warning. Jadi saya rasa dia orang punya intelligent auto braking dengan forward collision warning tu pakai kamera lah, pasal dia ada 360 view camera. So I'm trying to look for the kamera depan. Di mana kamera depannya? Okay, ini cabin Almera Turbo VL lah. This is the base grade model. Jadi base grade model dia tak dapat touch screen lah. Dapat single color monochrome black punya dashboard. Still it's a much upgraded design daripada sebelum ni. And also does not get a digital meter lah. Dapat the standard analog meter. Tapi masih lagi dapat flat bottom steering wheel. Dan ciri yang menariknya, saya suka reka bentuk ni, menggunakan 3 tombol untuk aircon. Dan dia ada 3 USB outlet. Tengok situ satu. Dekat kat bawah ni, dalam ni ada satu lagi. Dan juga kat belakang satu lagi USB outlet. So yang ni juga dapat fabric seat. Tapi ada macam sikit leatherette punya trim. Bukan leather, fabric grey punya inserts. And kita tengok ruang belakang dia. Memang lebih lapang daripada kereta sebelum ni lah. Kenapa ianya lebih lapang? Sebab Nissan telah menambah 20 mm daripada dia punya jarak ganda ataupun wheelbase. Jadi boleh tengok sekarang ni, ini setting ni saya rasa untuk depan ni mungkin pendek sikit lah daripada saya punya kedudukan. Tapi masih ruang kaki tu banyak lah, kan, ruang lutut banyak. Dan bagusnya kursi ni agak tinggi daripada lantai, so kita boleh masuk kaki all the way ke dalam. Kita tengok tu, boleh masuk all the way ke dalam. Dan kat bawah ni pun lembut, ada padding. So bila kita masuk kaki ke bawah tu tak rasa sakit lah. So that's a nice touch. Dan also dia punya sudut sandar dia the seat back ni, sudut sandar dia tu bagus. Dia tak terlalu tegak dan kita duduk agak selesa lah. And of course ada adjustable headrest. Untuk kedudukan pemandu ni, tadi saya depan ni kursi sama, tadi sudut belakang kan saya tolak dalam 1 inci lah. So rear legroom tu tak ada kesan sangat. Dan kita tengok daripada sini, dia punya ergonomic semua is quite nice. Everything is within easy reach. Cuma satu je lah yang saya tak berapa faham tentang reka bentuk dashboard Almera baru ni, ialah vent bulat ni. Kita akan cek kamera depan tu later. So ini ialah pula VLP. So dia punya base is VL Premium, nombor the middle variant. and VLT, T for technology is the highest spec lah. So untuk yang VLP dengan yang the VL tadi tu, yang share lah. Lampu combination depan tu masih lagi halogen. Tapi kali ni dia punya rim dah berbeza. Kalau kita tengok, ni dah dapat two-tone rim, diamond cut punya rim, dan juga dapat tayar besar lah. Ini dapat 205 dah, 55 R16 sama low profile tires. Dan color ni saya tak pasti ini excuse kita, tapi ada apa 7 color tadi, dan this is dia panggil monarch orange. So the big improvement in terms of the design for the Almera is when they bring the tail lights, dia jadikan dia panjang masuk ke dalam kawasan boot. Typically bila car makers make the lights go panjang masuk ke dalam kawasan boot tu, it's additional cost because they two-part item and additional wiring and all sorts of things, and usually they reserve that for a more premium product lah. But now the trend is to make the products look a bit more premium, so dia orang dah banyak yang buat macam ni, and that has another effect is that it makes the car looks wider. Dan tapi sebenarnya memang Nissan Almera ni lebih lebar daripada model sebelumnya. So the dimensional difference lah, macam kita tengok kereta ni nampak lebih sporty kan. So the actual dimensional difference for the Almera is 70mm longer, 45mm wider, but 40mm shorter. So dia lebih rendah lebih rendah daripada kereta sebelum ni. Dia nampak dia more low slung and more sporty. So the other thing yang penting, yang saya rasa lebih penting daripada yang lain-lain ialah wheelbase. Dia jarakkan 20mm lagi, and that opens up a lot of cabin space yang memang berasa bila kita masuk dalam. Talking about the cabin, jom kita masuk dalam tengok sikit. So nampak beza sekarang dah dapat two-tone interior. Two-tone dashboard ni memang nampak lebih berseri lah. Of course some people tak suka pasal dia warna putih mungkin dia takut cepat kotor ke apa ke, but memang nampak lebih cantik lah, lebih berseri. Dan of course the meter combo dah upgrade jadi digital meter or semi digital. The speedometer masih lagi analog, but the rest is digital. Yang kali ni dia punya steering pun dah berbalut dengan kulit. So kita tengok grade premium ni juga sudah mendapat touchscreen, dan perubahan kedua dapat auto climate control. Kalau yang tadi manual So dari segi kemasan pula, kita tengok kali ni dah dapat kursi kulit lah, leather seats. Jadi bila dah upgrade ke leather seats dan two-tone leather ni, nampak lebih berseri dan nampak lebih cantik. Dan of course yang lebih bagusnya lebih selesa lah, senang kita nak cuci apa semua. Magnet lain masih lagi sama lagi, masih lagi ada 3 USB outlet. Dan ruang kerusi belakang pun masih lagi sama, kecuali kali ni dah dengan kulit lah. So kerusi belakang ni bagusnya Nissan telah specify kereta ni dengan 60-40 rear seat split lah. Standard on all models Jadi 60-40 split ni memang useful, especially kita nak bawa barang panjang dan kita nak maintain lagi satu seat kat belakang lah. And standard safety feature ialah datang dengan also ISOF mount dengan top tether lah. Untuk kedudukan pemandu ni, tadi saya depan ni kursi sama, tadi saya duduk belakang saya tolak dalam 1 inci lah. So rear legroom tu tak ada kesan sangat. Dan kita tengok daripada sini, dia punya ergonomic semua is quite nice. Everything is within easy reach. Cuma satu je lah yang saya tak berapa faham tentang reka bentuk dashboard Almera baru ni, ialah vent bulat ni. Bulat ni jadi misteri lah pada saya, pasal tak ada elemen bulat dalam design kereta ni, kecuali kat situ je. Don't know lah apa Nissan punya logic behind having the surround vents lah. I think a rectangular vent would have been more appropriate lah. But anyway, it's still a very nice improvement over the previous car's dashboard. And jom kita tengok yang slightly better grade, the VL Premium. Jadi ruang boot kereta ni nampaknya quite good, quite square. Dia tak ada banyak intrusion from the wheel well. So all the suspension material ataupun the component dah design to be narrow lah on the upper part, so dia tak intrude into the wheel well, into the boot space. And it's quite a nice big square boot. Tapi ada quite high load lift lah. So kalau you nak angkat barang keluar masuk tu, kena angkat sikit lah. Ada load lift. Kat bawah ni ada nampaknya space saver spare. And masih lagi ada ruang kat bawah ni kalau nak masuk bag kecil ke, barang-barang masih boleh lagi. So that's quite a nice big voluminous boot. 486 liter kalau tak silap saya. Benda yang kita kena puji Nissan kali ni ialah yang benda yang saya cakap tadi, advance safety, macam the auto emergency braking dan forward collision warning datang standard untuk semua kereta. So to me that is something yang kita kena respect and kena bagi dia credit, because that's an important safety feature. I think betul patutnya dah jadi mandatory dah in the future, because of the level of distracted driving yang ada sekarang lah. Ramai orang bawa kereta nak tengok phone lah, nak itu nak ini. So benda tu akan banyak akan membantu mengurangkan kemalangan kecil-kecil lah. Banyak kali lah saya cerita benda ni bila dia orang pasang di Jepun, Daihatsu, yang nampak 50% drop in insurance claim. Cuma saya belum lagi figure out macam mana dia orang make this thing function. Tak nampak lagi kat mana dia orang tak radar ke kamera depan. Pendapat saya, the VLP is the best buy of the lot sebab all the safety features dah ada. For me, main priority is safety lah. Benda-benda lain tu saya tak kisah sangat. LED lamp semua tu, of course tu cantik. Tapi for me, yang paling penting sekali dia ada 6 airbag. Dan of course dia ada auto emergency braking dan forward collision warning. So that means yang itu tadi VL standard tu hanya ada 2 airbag. So bila upgrade to 6 airbag, to me this is almost as complete as you need it to be lah for a family car. Dah ada VSC lain semua. So this to me is the best buy lah. Okay, kita cerita sikit lah estimated price lah. Yang ni dengan yang ni dalam in the 80,000 range. So my guess is this one will be like low atau mid 80s lah. And this one closer to the top. So maybe that one between 83 macam tu, 83, 84. And this is probably near 90 lah, 88, 89 macam tu. Dan of course the VLT, the technology ni, this is over 90,000 lah. Cari kamera kat mana, rupanya kamera dia suruh belakang logo ni. Of course logo Nissan ni sekarang rupanya ini ditutup dengan clear plastik. So ada kamera kat dalam tu, tapi saya cari tak nampak lah. Yeah, anyway you can light it up, nampak kat dalam lah kamera. Tak boleh nampak kamera. Tapi ini 60 vision kamera, vision panoramic view. So that mesti dia adalah kamera kat depan ni. Kat dia sorok dalam tu, tapi cari je memang tak nampak lah. Tapi you have to trust us, there's a camera inside there. The star of the show hari ni, apart from the design lah, which now makes the Almera look so much less like a pakcik car, is the 1 liter engine. So the 1 liter turbo engine produces 100 horsepower, ngam-ngam 100 horsepower, and almost 160 Newton, 156 Newton meters of torque. And that torque is available from quite low lah, 2,400 all the way to the upper average 4,000 plus. And that should make it an interesting car to drive lah. It shouldn't be so lethargic. And the weight of the car is what?
Around
1,100 kilograms. So you have about 90 plus horsepower per ton, which is a decent number. So this is, I think, the first time kita tengok kereta segmen B yang ada 1 liter turbo engine. Ini turbo engine lah, ini turbo engine. So ramai orang akan risau dengan dia punya cost of maintenance. So one of the way Nissan nak bagi kita tak risau sangat ialah dia bagi 5-year free maintenance, 5-year warranty. So the 5-year warranty, unlimited mileage. Unlimited mileage ni saya nampak akan orang buat Grab akan sukalah, because unlimited mileage kan. Saya tak tahu dia apply ke tidak for people who drive Grab, I don't know, but it's unlimited mileage, so that's nice of Nissan. And also dia bagi free service 5 kali dalam tempoh 5 tahun tu. So given that kita punya average mileage is about 20 to 25,000 kilometers a year on average lah, so you'll get 1 free service a year for 5 years lah, because 10,000 kilometers is about 6 months lah for the average driver. And also bisik-bisik dengan orang Nissan, dia kata dia orang buat simulation. And right now they nampak bahawa the ownership cost of this car should be competitive against rival brands lah. Okay, so yang 5-year free service, 5 times free service tu untuk 5 tahun tu is inclusive of labour and parts. So banyak orang bagi free service, dia bagi either free parts or free labour, tapi yang ini both free. So memang totally free. You hantar sekali setahun tu ialah going to be free lah. So for 5 years you akan enjoy 1 free service. Kalau you bawa Grab, you mungkin servis lebih pada 2 kali, itu you main pasal lah. Tapi orang biasa, you'll feel the benefit lah. Bila cakap, saya kata service interval kebanyakan kereta ialah 10, but for this car it's 7,000, it's not 10,000, so it's in between. I think this is Nissan being conservative about the new engine. So anyway, the first service that you akan dapat free, yang first service tak kira, memang itu the 1,000 km memang Nissan give for free. So yang you akan dapat free ialah alternate service, so maksudnya 7,000 km dapat free, 14 kena bayar, 21 dapat free, 28 kena bayar, 35 dapat free, 42 bayar, 49 dapat free, 56 bayar, 56 bayar, 63 free. I can't remember, tapi kiranya 5 lah, you kira balik 5 alternate, itu free, okay? Kalau saya salah sebut tadi, you kira betul-betul lah. 7 free, 14 bayar, 21 free, macam tu kira lah, okay. So this is the new engine, the 1 liter turbo engine, and since we are not in the 1990s or early 2000s, so semua bersepah, dah tak ada betul-betul lagi dah. And it's a very compact engine. Kalau you tengok, it's a very small engine. The block is I don't know, maybe 8 inches, 9 inches sampai, so like almost just a foot long lah. It's a foot long block. It's a very tiny engine, and 3 cylinders, they tend to vibrate a little bit more, but I'm sure this is very well isolated. You tengok they're on elastomer mounts, so, and it's quite a quiet engine. For a turbo engine, this is going to be very interesting. Of course, kita risau turbo ni dia punya engine oil consumption lah. But modern materials, so dia ada mirror bore coating, that should help to reduce a lot of the friction and a lot of the heat management issues lah. So once we get this car, we'll see lah whether the engine bay runs hot or tidak. Because a lot of these turbo engine cars, dia bila kita buka engine bay tu memang runs very hot. Dia nampak dari turbo kat belakang sana tu. It has an electronic wastegate. And Okay. Hari ni kita memandu Nissan Almera Turbo 1 liter. Ini kita punya first impression ever. Short route hari ni ada dalam 2 km, 3 km kot lah, paling-paling pun. So daripada Glenmarie ni, Nissan punya big showroom dekat Glenmarie. Ada sikit lah bit of stretch of road where kita boleh try a little bit of acceleration, but for the most part kita just nak tengok general drivability lah. Okay, first impression, of course, from the old Almera, this is langit dengan bumi lah. Dia punya ride quality, the secondary ride is so much better than the old one. Jalan ni dekat industrial area, so tak berapa cantik jalan, ripples, broken surface, and the secondary ride quality dah memang so much improved. And the 1 liter 3 cylinder engine tu, typically 3 cylinder memang vibrate a bit more, tapi this one so very nicely controlled punya vibration. Noise level, engine noise level, I think is quite well isolated, quite well controlled. Cuma road noise ni ada sikit tinggi with this car, so you tak dengar sangat punya engine, but more of the road noise lah. But luckily dia punya secondary ride is so much better than before. Bila langgar line kuning atau line merah tu, kita dengar tapi kita tak berapa rasa sangat. So that's a major improvement in terms of the ride quality daripada the old car. Of course, the entire cabin layout, ini VLT
Yes.
Ini VLT, the top spec car. I think the meter design semua ni is the good compromise lah. You nak bagi some technology, but you still nak keep cost down, so you maintain one analog meter. But I don't really know whether analog meter is actually cheaper to produce, but to, I guess, some kind of product differentiation lah kan, dia nak bagi. So dia bagi half digital on this one. Kalau the standard car VL, semua analog all the way lah. even the rev counter. So yang ini dia punya meter tu boleh tukar 9 different screens. Nanti bila ada masa kita dapat full test drive, nanti kita akan cornerkan lah, belikkan dia sampai full 9 screens. Tengok ni jalan ni, it's quite bad. Usually in the old Almera it'll also crash over all sorts of things, but this ride quality is, I think, kalau tak class leading pun right at the top there lah. I think the newer generation B segment cars ataupun the newer generation cars, dia orang punya secondary ride tu dah so much better, so much improve, and this car memang berasa sangat-sangat lah, especially since we compare to the old Almera. So jarang kita tekan throttle all the way even bila kita nak accelerate in between apa benda lah kita nak pecut tu, they usually tekan throttle about halfway, and at about halfway the engine response is quite good. You feel the torque coming in at about 2,400 that they cakap, and memang you can feel like the torque coming in, and the engine is quite energetic lah, it will pull quite strongly. So even right now at 30 km/h, suddenly we floor, it will downshift one gear it seems, and then obviously bila you beyond a certain throttle position, dia akan try nak take you to 2,400 lah kalau you're below that lah, especially when you're cruising. So then it'll be just about right. So kalau boleh, kalau kita sempatkan, kita nak try tengok at 100 km/h, what is the RPM. Kalau at about 100-120, the RPM tu dah it should be around where the top peaks lah. I'm guessing that's how they will engineer the car lah. Should be around 2,400 or maybe just slightly less, because the lower the RPM, of course, you can improve the fuel economy lah. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's like between 2,000 to 2,300 RPM lah. Tapi kita tengok macam mana. So again, we are going through some quite bad roads lah. Yang depan hotel, which is the Holiday Inn. Still called Holiday Inn, okay. Still called Holiday Inn. And these are quite bad roads, and again the vibration level is very nice. Seat wise, this is a short drive, so I tak boleh nak give any kind of comments, but dia punya under thigh support tu I think quite sufficient. Maybe if it's slightly longer, it's more comfortable, but I think this is just fine for a car of this size, of a big segment car. Nampak dia punya seat belakang pun, the seat squat pun nampak cukup panjang lah, so bila duduk tak cepat letih lah. Dia problem bila seat squat tu pendek kan, dia cepat letih nanti bila bawa. So kita nak keluar balik. Sini kiri ke kanan?
Kiri.
Yes. So okay, tempat dia ada sikit straight, kita try tengok. Real world acceleration coming out of a junction lah. Kalau testing punya kita mungkin tekan lebih kuat sikit, tapi real world lah. So real world, usually typically this is how we drive. Wow, third to half throttle coming out of junctions, and that's nice and quite energetic, quite effortless. Dia pull out of the corners. So kalau sebelum ni mungkin risau nak kena rev the engine a little bit harder, tadi tak. It goes about 2,000 plus, and then dia dah upshift dah. That's because there's so much torque, so they just boleh stay at about 2,005 tu, and then just play around there lah. So this one we're going into slightly bigger road, so let's see dia punya shift point dia about 3,005. Dia punya shift point dia for I think normal throttle position, average driving the throttle position, it change about 3,005, and the drop seems to be dropping about 800 revs like that. Got 600, 700 revs lah maybe the drop. So then it stays within the nice and fat top band. So nampaknya jalan ni terlalu pendek untuk kita take sampai 100 km sejam. Don't know, we'll see. Ada peluang ke tidak. There's quiet road yang dekat roundabout tu, maybe kita boleh try kat situ sikit nak try. Let's tengok dia punya engine speed je 100 km/h, because that is actually a more important thing kalau you nak tengok kereta in terms of the fuel economy. At where does the engine sit at highway cruising speed. Untuk kereta ICE compared to kereta elektrik, kereta ICE more efficient on the highway, kereta elektrik more efficient in town. Sekarang kita dah cerita dua-dua, sekarang dunia dah berubah. So untuk ICE cars, memang kita kena tengok dia punya engine speed on the highway, because bila engine speed on the highway tu, it will tell you how efficient the engine is going to be. Kalau dia bawah pada 2000 RPM at 100 km/h, that's a lot of German engine. Dia punya tuning, they'll get their maximum torque at about 8,008, and then they stay on the turbo. Those turbo engine kan dia punya, but for this one, because it's a smaller engine, maybe that's why they tune to about 2,400. Can I go left sekejap? Boleh go left sekejap?
Boleh.
Kita nak pergi try yang jalan belakang yang straight sampai ke roundabout tu, macam nak
Okay.
But they will get. So see, normal driving, it feels quite energetic. Kalau you nak rev lebih sikit, memang berasa lah dia pergi. So this one
Kalau nak try ada one more, bukan kat sini. Depan sana ada satu jalan straight lah.
Okay. So kita dapat test turning circle sikit. Tengok turning circle. Okay lah, not bad lah. Jalan dua lorong ni kena lebih sikit lah. Bukan front wheel drive kan. Kalau front wheel drive lepas dah ni, biasalah. So overall, the refinement level untuk kereta ni is vastly improved over the previous generation car lah. So that's a given already. Sekarang persoalannya sama ada ianya boleh bersaing dengan segmen B yang baru-baru ni. Sebab kita tahu ada pesaing pun dah about to be launched about the same time, dan dia pun macam-macam juga ada offer. Of course they are also going to improve from their car, and the previous gen of their car was better than the previous gen of the Almera. So we'll see how much of an improvement can they bring to the world. But right now, as of now, before driving that other car, this is quite impressive. This is below 100,000 lah kot. Pasal tadi cakap estimated price 90,000 plus. So kalau dia competitive, dah lebih great lah. But Malaysia ni dia akan ada satu mental roadblock dia kat sini. Mental roadblock dia adalah 1 liter. Itu sebelum kita ada mental roadblock, dia akan dengar 1 liter, dia kata naik 1 liter 90,000. Wah, mahalnya. Yalah, betul lah, kalau you tengok macam tu memang mahal lah. But if you let's say tengok at the horsepower numbers, then maybe it's not as bad. Dia banyak sikit. Kita try capai 100. Okay, 100 is at nicely done, about 2000 RPM. 2000 lebih sikit RPM. So this should be quite a relaxing car on the highway. And one good thing is dia dah tambah the trail ataupun the rake of the front suspension. So the additional caster trail ni should help to make the car more stable in a straight line, because of the way where you have more trail, more pullback on the steering, so it tends to be self-correcting, a little bit more self-correcting. So self-correcting ni dia, as with anything in life, it's a double-edged sword. So the more the car has self-correcting abilities, the less is it keen to turn in. So you have to find a balance somewhere. So if you make it so much self-correcting, dia nak turn in, dia akan berat sikit, dia akan lambat sikit lah. So this one kita tak tahu, tak dapat bawa lagi betul-betul. But if it has a lot of improved self-correcting, it should be more relaxing on the highway. And this is a very important feature untuk kereta yang modern, because most of the time you spend time on the highway, and we nak kereta yang ada speed, and so that you don't not so tired. Kereta bila tak ada stability at high speed, and this is what happen, this is what you do. Oh, penat. Itu yang penat tu. The real reason why we get tired is excessive use of fine motor controls. Satu, traffic jam kita penat sebab throttle dengan brake, very fine motor control. Kita kena modulate very finely nak control ikut speed depan. The mind has to work so fast, and so that's why it's tiring. On the highway, this is tiring. it will show up kat you punya shoulder, and you rasa penat when you have to keep making small corrections. You notice kereta yang selesa, yang kita bawa jauh tak penat, ialah kereta yang tak payah make a lot of small corrections, especially when you go into long sweeping corners. The car will sit quietly and stably and just duduk je. And this, if this is betul, if they've improved it, then it should be something good lah. And the other thing yang besar technical change is dia punya trailing arm. Kalau dulu I think it's a 2 parts lah. The first part, the main part of trailing arm, and then the bracket yang hold the wheels. So either dulu it was an interference fit atau bolted on, I tak pasti, tapi it was a 2-parter thing. So bila dia 2 parts, there's more chance of deformation, and bila deformation, then you have slightly less accurate control lah over the wheel position. So untuk kali ni dia orang dah buat one piece item. I tak tahu it's cast ke stamp ke, but it's a one piece item, so it should be more rigid. So bila it's more rigid, it has more precise control for the rear. Kita tak bawa lagi, so kita tak tahu apa dia punya cerita kat belakang tu. But most cars nowadays memang tend to go for stability lah, high speed stability. So that should mean that it has slightly better control in terms of giving it slight toe in under compression to make the car feel more stable at high speed. So overall, the short test drive, about 3 kilometers, I'm very impressed with the increased level of refinement. Even the sound insulation from outside is much better. Kalau Almera dulu tu macam tingkap tu terbuka, dia memang dengar je bunyi semua benda masuk. So now it's so much better. And like I said, the vibration is quite well controlled. There's a bit of resonance from the engine tu, yang the annoying thing right now is the bukan resonance from the, not the engine, from the road. Bila dia langgar tu pam tu, that one tends to come in a little bit more than the engine. And you know, sometimes you dah improve, ada juga lah benda lah kan, we have to find to see yang you want some more improvement lah. Overall, much better car than the previous one. It should be part of the big, this is going to basically this car and that other one is going to be the battle this year lah, in terms of the segment B, big battle. This is the big battle, and kita akan tengok lah siapa yang akan menang. Okay? Sure. Okay, kalau dah tengok sampai sini, saya ucapkan terima kasih banyak-banyak. Kalau suka, tolong tekan butang like dan kongsi dan kawan-kawan kalau ada manfaat. Kalau first time datang, tolong subscribe. Kalau bukan dah subscribe, terima kasih banyak-banyak. Dan tekan butang loceng lah supaya dapat maklumat terkini bila kita buat video terbaru. Pemandu Malaysia, pemandu yang berhemah. Kita jumpa lagi, insyaAllah. Ramai ada orang tanya kita ni.
Tanya apa? Maksudnya
Customer lah tanya.
Dia dah booking pun ada. Dia orang dah ambil booking lah.
Ramai juga lah yang berminat.
Betul. Tengok gambar je dah minat lah.
Betul. Kereta ni sebenarnya cerita teknologi apa semua. Tak payah cerita teknologi lah. Dah tengok kereta ni cantik je, dah closer to winning their hearts kan.